Explore an ever-expanding variety of wholesome, locally grown foods when you shop Illinois.
You know what? There's never been a better time to live in Illinois.
Oh, you better believe it.
Fresh foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, the healthy hippie chef. You have a plethora of all things good.
Fresh and local.
Yeah.
You can eat, when you eat vegetables, you can eat 2, sometimes 3 times as much.
Yeah, and you can get full, and you don't have to eat that other stuff like chocolate fudge cake and all that stuff.
Well, you can have a little bit.
We were fortunate recently to go to Springfield and focus on Illinois specialty crops. And that's a wide array.
I was so surprised. We were awarded this grant for 2015.
Congratulations.
Very honored to be the recipient of the Illinois Specialty Crop Grant for 2015. And we're going to highlight Illinois specialty crops with the help of Dixon Springs, orchards around the area, farmers markets.
Yes.
And we're going to bring people, consumers, the most latest and up-to-date info on where they can buy fresh and local, encourage them to eat.
But Jason and I, we were able to sneak away. We went to the cider judging competition. And this was good stuff, the apple cider they were judging. And we spoke with someone on what they were judging.
Color, clarity, is it something that pleases the eye when you look at it, if you look at a jug?
Also, did you know about hard cider? That's where it gets really interesting.
Yes, I learned.
Yeah, so did Jason. we couldn't find him
I learned
the rest
the hard
of the
way.
Yeah, you learned the hard way about the hard cider.
Yes.
But it's a big deal. Just like with the wines and such that they do in California, you would see them in their small cups, and there's a variance of colors, and they're looking at things and smelling things, and it's a big deal.
It's big.
Yeah.
And the slushy, the little slushies.
The slushies were great.
Haven overdosed on slushies.
Yeah, the slushies were good. There's just so many things you can do with things that are grown right here in Illinois. We also talked with a gentleman he's like one of the largest sweet corn producers.
Sweet corn.
Right here.
And we used to ship
in Illinois.
At one time, we used to ship every state in the union. And so sweet corn has always been our game. But now we own part of a seed company called Centes, which has this variety Mirai, and we feature that throughout the whole Midwest. It's in the seed catalogs, and it's got an extra taste to it that just is outstanding, tender. People really enjoy it. Once you get them hooked on it, and there's a lot of good sweet corn out there, but this has been a good product for us.
And it's delicious. I've had some of the sweet corn.
Man, it is so good. And he talked about some other vegetables, and maybe some of this stuff actually came from the fruits of his labor. And another sweet lady we fell in love with, Miss Kathy. You remember her?
Yes, Miss Kathy. Love her.
People talk about things going down in the economy, but we have really been doing well because of the push for local foods and locally produced, and especially here, the farmers markets, they want to put something out on their shelves that has been made in Illinois or close to. On each label, as an ingredient, we have a lot of hard work and pride, and that's what goes into every jar.
She was so generous. She donated some of her products.
She did.
And so I'm going to incorporate into my recipe today some of her products. But what I wanted to point out, I'm big on labels. I always say read your labels. If you can't pronounce it, maybe you ought to check into it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying just check into it, And what I love about Kathy's, and you can look on here, ingredients, cucumbers, sugar, vinegar. My 8-year-old can read everything on here and tell you what it is.
That's right.
And you feel good about feeding this stuff to your family, okay? And so today we're gonna make a healthy deviled egg potato salad recipe. And we all like relish, right? Some of those relishes in the stores have some pretty crazy ingredients in them. So I like to use my own relishes, and in today's recipe we're going to use some of Kathy's bread and butter pickles.
Blue ribbon winning.
Yes.
Multiple times over.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Now, a little trick I use when I do my potatoes, I boil them in little vegetable broth or chicken broth. That's just a little tip. It'll give you a little more flavor, okay? So after you get these all boiled up and you're kind of letting them cool and whatnot, you're going to chop up about half of an onion. And this recipe, you can kind of make it your own. What I do with it, a lot of the traditional potato salads have a ton of potatoes and mayonnaise, okay? Very high fat, lots of calories.
But so good.
This one, I like to just fluff it up with all these vegetables.
Yes,
and so
much better
pick
way.
your favorites, Get your kids in here, let them help you out, pick what their favorites are. You're gonna use about a cup of celery. I'm just going to use some sweet peppers, green peppers, whatever you got, whatever you like. So see all these vegetables that you're adding in, and it looks beautiful too.
Yeah.
Now, when I make my deviled eggs, I do not use mayonnaise. I use a vinegar mustard base with my yolks, and I take out half the yolks. So that's, you know, even making them a little more healthy.
Yeah.
Little yolk is fine. Okay, so then you're just gonna chop up about 3 or 4 deviled eggs to add into this. By the time your potatoes are cooled, now I use the red skins on this one. Whatever you got's fine. I like the red skin. I say skin to win because there's lots of good nutrients.
Oh yeah,
minerals in the skins.
You have to eat the skins.
If you've got some picky eaters, you know, go ahead and peel those after. I used about 12 small little red potatoes. Okay?
You know, we were talking about a trip to the market recently, and if you'll pay attention now, there's actually signs that'll say homegrown, like grown right here in Illinois. And I tend to gravitate that way now, knowing that, you know, we've met these people and we know they're working hard. You want to support them.
We're gonna add in our favorite ingredient of today. Do those not smell delicious? My grandma taught me how to make these when I was a little girl. But you know, like I said, sometimes when you get into your relishes and different things, you find some ingredients on there that you don't know what it is. And with Kathy's, and even if you make them homemade, you know what's going into this is good, and it's good for your family, and you feel good about feeding it. And you know, you can put as much as you want. Even a little bit of the juice is fine.
Yeah.
Now, I'm big on homemade dressings, and this is my dressing of the year, I guess I like to say. It's a light vinegar ranch type dressing, and this works great on salads as well. So I've got already in here 1/4 cup of just water, okay? We're gonna add in 1/2 cup of seasoned rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of your mayo with olive oil. These are dried parsley flakes. This is about a tablespoon.
But I guarantee you, if you search far and wide, you're going to find that farmer in Illinois that makes all the the fresh herbs.
Dry your own. This is a little bit of dill weed, and that's so good in the summer too. Okay, we've got a couple teaspoons of garlic, a couple teaspoons of onion powder. You can also dice up some onions in this, would be wonderful. And we got about a teaspoon of celery salt, and this is some fresh ground black pepper. Now, you can whisk this, but let me tell you, it's much easier for this recipe since you got your little bit of mayonnaise in there.
Oh, look
Shake
at
it.
you.
Okay, and you're kind of getting a workout as you do it. You can use as much as you want. You don't have to use the whole amount on it if you think it's a little too much, but I'm just gonna toss it over there. Believe it or not, what's so good about this too, this is even good 3rd and 4th day, because the longer it sets and it soaks that up, it's delicious. And you know, my husband, a lot of times he'll take a packet of that tuna and he'll just pour that in and eat the whole bowl.
You got a meal in a bowl right there.
Look at all that fresh, delicious. And then you can take some fresh parsley that you've picked up from your farmers and just kind of make it pretty like that.
You know, we also learned from this lady who is the inventor of Market Makers. She's helping to connect the dots.
We're mission driven. We're a nonprofit. Riverside Research Institute is a nonprofit. So we really have an interest in helping the food industry in general, helping farmers become sustainable, helping them become profitable. But we also have a huge interest in helping consumers find high quality products, the kind they want, where they want them, and to make sure that food gets where it's needed as well.
There was one particular thing that you were interested in.
Gooseberries.
Gooseberries. And
my dad, we have gooseberry pie every year for Christmas since I was born. Okay, I'm crazy about it. Haven loves it now. It's a tradition. My dad mowed down my gooseberry bush.
How dare you, Dad?
Now, all my relatives live in Creel. You would have thought in Southern Illinois I could find a gooseberry bush. Couldn't find one to pick from.
Long distances.
So the market maker found me gooseberries in Thompsonville, Illinois.
That's right there, right down the road.
15 minutes from
Right
my
down the
house.
road.
And I've been going to St. Louis to get them.
Crazy.
So
crazy.
that was exciting too.
It is wonderful. It's a free site. You can go on. If you're a farmer, you can go ahead and register your information. If you're looking for a particular kind of farmer, if it's apples or peaches or what are they called again?
Gooseberries.
Gooseberries. See, I'm gonna have to come over to you. I don't even know what that is.
I'll make you some. It's
Okay,
delicious.
good.
You're gonna
I'm
love it.
excited.
You're gonna love it.
You can find that. And then the other cool thing is, as the recipient of the grant, Healthy Hippie Chef will also be providing information about what's grown in Illinois, where you can find it, that type of thing at your website, right?
Right. I've dedicated a whole page on my website,
Okay.
which is www.healthyhippiechef.com.
Okay.
And it's going to be under the Illinois Specialty Crop Grants. We're going to have all kinds of information on there. We'll post our segments on there.
Perfect.
We'll have recipes. I'm going to give tips on how to, where to buy, when to buy, when it's prime time. All kinds of tips on prep and cleaning your produce, how to store it for longer produce life. So that's all going to be on there. Also, I'm going to ask you maybe to even take a survey, because ultimately that's going to help our farmers be more effective, getting their product out to you, finding out what you want. And I also encourage everyone to take this pledge. It's called You can go to www.buyillinoischallenge.com. And what this is, if you pledge your household, just your family, $10 a week.
Oh, you spend that easily, right?
Just 10,
Yeah.
that's all, okay?
Yeah.
Each family. This is crazy to me. It's gonna come back and reinvest back into the Illinois economy $4.7 million and annually $2.4 billion
Stop
in
it.
Illinois revenue.
Wow.
If we just spent $10 of Illinois produce.
Yep.
So,
skip the drive-through one day, go buy
That's
yourself
right.
some vegetables, and you're going to be surprised at what happens in this state.
it's crazy. We're gonna make fruits and veggies go viral.
Oh, fruits and veggies go viral.
Go viral. We're gonna give veg out a new meaning, right?
Absolutely. You know,
okay.
and to meet
so there
these
you
people,
go.
you love these people, you want to keep them in business. So go ahead and make that investment because you'll be investing in future generations to come.
Oh, forever. And also, you know, what I want to say is if you see a farmer, thank a farmer. Go up to him, tell him you love him, you need him, keep growing our food. They will really appreciate it. I don't think we tell them enough and realize all the hard work they do.
Very good.
You know, from dawn till dusk. And so just go up and thank a farmer.
Very good.
So,
And stay tuned because we're going to have more of these episodes. And again, we encourage you to check out the website Stacey mentioned, and you can find all the information at healthyhippiechef.com.
Explore an ever-expanding variety of wholesome, locally grown foods when you shop Illinois, where fresh is. For more information, visit IllinoisWhereFreshIs.com.